I'm going to start by talking to you about the foundation idea underlying the whole of this seminar, which is the Hindu, Buddhist, that is to say Indian, idea of the world as illusion, which they call Maya, M-A-Y-A. This is one of the most rich ideas that has ever been thought by the mind of man, because it has such a great multiplicity of meanings. When Hinduism is reported in little textbooks on comparative religion and encyclopedia articles, this is one point on which almost all the scholars are either completely misleading or very incomplete. Because there is a general impression has circulated in the West that the Hindus live in a very, very hot country, have very little to eat, and live an absolutely miserable life. And therefore this affects the brain in a certain way. The heat makes the world seem like a mirage, makes it seem rather unreal. And the extremely low standard of living makes life intolerable, and so they would just as soon believe that it isn't real, that it all has a dreamlike quality, and that the highest ideal to which man can aspire is to escape altogether from this sort of physical existence, which they call samsara, the round of birth and death, and to disappear into a state of rather diffuse consciousness wherein the individuality vanishes and one is simply suspended forever, or in a kind of timeless time, in an infinite ocean of faintly luminous mauve jello. Now, this is all terribly misleading. This isn't the point at all. And so I want to start then by telling you the many, many things that the word Maya actually means. First of all, the foundation of the word is the Sanskrit root, M-A-T-R. And that has as its original meaning, so far as we can trace it back, the idea of measuring or laying out the foundations for a building. And you can see how from that root, M-A-T-R, we derive many, many words through Greek and Latin in the English language connected with measurement. Metric, meter, matrix, matter, as in the saying, does it matter? Does it measure up to anything? And so fundamental to the concept of the world illusion is then the idea of measurement, of equating the realities of the physical world with certain systems of numbering, whether it be so many spans of the hand, so many feet, so many paces, so many bongs on a drum, or whatever you've got to be your regular model, your regular system for the whole idea of measurement, is to find an equation between the physical world and something regular, that is to say, with a ruler. Because you see, the physical world is fundamentally wiggly. We don't notice this very much if we live in towns and if we live in ordinary houses, because we build our streets and our homes so as to seem to be non-wiggly. And so we're confronted with tables and chairs and walls and window frames, and we get a sense of non-wiggly reality. And so then we are also always in conflict with wiggliness. We try, for example, not to let the stars seem to be disordered, but to organize them into constellations. The constellations, of course, aren't there. There are no strings joining those stars which constitute the Big Dipper. Seen from another point of view in space, they wouldn't look like a dipper at all. Actually, those stars happen to be fairly close to each other in space. But sometimes a member of a constellation could very well be an entirely different galaxy, millions of light years away. So